Okay, we are now live. I'm just setting up a few more things and we'll start playing soon. Hope everyone's been well.
Let's have some fun.
Los, thank you so much for hosting. Okay, we are now ready. Let's switch back to the game feed. Hello everyone, I'm Eventide Shine and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online Endwalker. We're going to continue the story with my alt Anna here. I'm doing pretty good, Los. How you take two? How have you been? Talking's hard, guys. Don't do it. Oh, the Fenrir, thank you so much for gift subbing Los. Appreciate the support. Let's see. We need to change this to this. To event, yeah. We'll have Anna wave to you guys. It's been a while, but glad to be back playing 14. So, next story mission is in... We have to go to Charlian, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And Hylos. My breakdancing partner in crime, you. So we need to go to the annex, I think. Let's see. I think it was in here. We'll find out. Yeah, in here. Okay. Hey Lois, or whoever's in the stream, does everything sound okay? I just want to make sure if the game is too loud, or if I'm too loud, or things are too quiet. Just let me know. Seems okay? Okay, cool. Gotta make sure I gotta position myself, because I remember the last couple of streams I was facing in this direction. Sometimes my microphone would be like over here, and then I'd be like blocking my face with the microphone. So I'm gonna try not to do that this stream. Okay, good. Thank you so much for checking that for me, Los. So next quest is The Heavens Burn, or As the Heavens Burn. Let's read the whole sentence. So, you have learned aught more of the final days? Then the journey was well worth the risk. No doubt your newfound knowledge will be a great boon to us all. Unfortunately, during your time in the First, events have taken a turn for the worse. The Scions are running themselves ragged, trying to contain the spread of the blasphemies, but it's a losing battle. To try to ascertain the where and why of it, Alize and Alphinaud have been traveling all over. Of all the regions they visited, Locus, Ammonius is the worst affected. Thancred, Estinian, and Graha took a detachment of allied soldiers there to offer aid and succor to those in need. But the province is vast. They only managed to visit a handful of coastal villages. It was an accomplishment worth celebrating still, but a drop in the bucket at best. In the meantime, Y'shtola and Master Matoya have been making a concerted effort to establish contact with Hydaelyn in the Ethereal Sea, but to no avail. As for Tataru and I, we've been keeping a close eye on the Forum. From what we gather, they've been constructing a vessel to ferry people to the moon, an ambitious project that has likely been years. It's not decades in the making, or if not decades in the making. However, since we've seen no signs of it thus far, I suspect it's still incomplete. You will also recall the proposal issued by Master Farshino to the people of Radzethan. Following their discussion, Vitra declared his support for the plan and urged those who wish to evacuate to accept the Forum's invitation. So far, so good, but that's where things get a little strange. Apparently, the Forum caught wind of the lunar teleporter in the Tower of Babel and decided to use it to deliver people to the moon instead of their mysterious ship. Therefore, to secure safe passage for the Hanish refugees to the tower, Alphino, Alize, Estinian, and Graha traveled to Gallermald not long ago. Trouble is, the capital was hardly the safest place to begin with, and now the final days have come to Gallermald. Shortly after our friends arrived, they were sent to rendezvous with Master Fortuno. Then, panic broke out, and our communications were severed. From what fragments we were able to make out of the link shell went completely silent. We can only assume the phenomenon has spread to the capital. The others need you, Enna. Please, you must help them. And that we shall. Having you there will make all the difference, I'm sure of it. Camp Broken Glass was their first port of call, so you'd best start there. Hopefully Lucia will know where they are. There's no telling what you'll be walking into, so you'd best take every possible precaution. Just gonna edit my stream labels for a second here. There, that's good. Okay, so we need to teleport to Camp Broken Glass. And we have ourselves an instance fight, indicated by this glowing NPC here. Enna, not a moment too soon. The skies over Gallermald are ablaze, but it's events on the ground that concern me. As you will have heard, your fellow Scions arrived ahead of you. We cut the customary greetings short after we received word from our troops on the Magna Glacies that the Forum's airship had landed. It was then that the heavens began to burn. I dispatched your friends at once to ensure the refugees come to no harm. I would have you join them immediately. Additional support is en route, but we will discuss them later. I trust you are ready to depart. Upon departing for the Magna Glacies, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It's just warning us that we need to set aside sufficient time. So let's do it. Earlier on the Magna Glacies,
No. 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 promised an escape. Not the same doom we fled.
I shall not meet my final days here in this blasted waste. Calm yourselves. Your panic is our greatest enemy. Come, we must build a line of defense. How?
Leave the fighting to us, Father. You must lead the people to safety.
I can handle this pair.
You shall tend to the refugees. Let us be about it.
As you wish, my little lord.
Okay, Alfie time.
I'll command the beast's attention. See to the wounded.
Help is at hand.
Sorry, I don't sage, so I need to, let's get our bearings with the moves here. Oh boy.
Leave it to me.
Those who can stand, come with me. You're safe now.
Yeah, Sage is definitely a weird and unique class, but
Deep breaths.
I do plan to have Enna be a Sage eventually, so that's when I'll learn the mechanics and everything that is all about Sage more properly.
Worry not for the refugees, but for yourself.
Highest Indian. Okay, so this is the barrier move. Let's turn away. Okay. So I'm just gonna adjust the camera here.
Help! Someone, please!
What?
Don't. I don't want to die.
Forward! Let not a single fiend escape!
Wait, that's... Euless and the army. So, you've recovered then? In time enough to be of aid, for once. We can speak of it more later. For now, we must fight! To repay your salvation in kind, or with better! For Garlemald has her pride! Of that I've no doubt.
Good gods. Of all possible saviors, the Imperial Army. Oh!
I had hoped to take all of them down at once.
Think a withdrawal might be in order?
Oh, sod that. You know who would never abandon these people to their fate. To be devoured by their former friends. That'd be beyond cruel. These beasts must fall here and now.
Well then, I'd say it's high time we threw caution to the winds.
So long as you spare me the heroic sacrifices. Now, let's go!
Yeah, Red Mage is a fun class. Definitely takes some getting used to, but I like Red Mage a lot. It's fun. And now we're gonna play as best girl Alize. Alright then.
they say, turnabout's fair play.
Oops.
On guard.
Nice.
There's not the barest trace of ether. Maybe there really is no way to bring them back.
Thank you for saving our lives once again. I remember you, from Purusha. You helped us there too, didn't you?
Ah, you're from Palaka's stand. I'm glad you're still in one piece. Or you will be, once I see to that injury of yours.
Look out! Get out of here! Quickly! I won't lose them. Not a one. This will be a brighter future. I won't let a madman's apocalypse ruin everything we've fought to achieve!
Get it together, Alizé. You're embarrassing yourself. And in front of father, no less. You might never measure up to our champion. But we ask too much of her as it is. You mustn't let our sword in the darkness fight alone.
Let's see, I'm back. You've done well in my absence, or this is precisely why you should never skip your squat regimen. I'm back.
I can look after myself, you know.
Everything's in order, I trust?
I've had enough of this rabble! Come on!
Oh, a trio for the ages. Just the beginning.
feeling I'd find you here. This should be the last of the worst troublemakers. With me!
On your feet.
Nice, we did it.
You must board without delay. The ship will depart ere long.
Your offer to host us in Sharlayan is most appreciated. But will the final days not soon fall upon it as well?
Your hesitation is not unwarranted. The satrap entrusted me with your lives, yet I have failed your comrades. Nor are you wrong to fear that this corruption will continue to spread. I cannot promise you complete safety, even in my homeland. What I can promise is that I will do all in my power to protect you. That power is not inconsiderable. Even now, my countrymen are preparing the vessel that will deliver us to a sanctuary on the moon. Join us on our journey there, and beyond, to new horizons. Come to old Sharlayan. Please.
would be fools to refuse such a generous offer made in earnest.
It seems they've a new destination.
The people of Radzat Han have known too much suffering. The march to Garlemald will only bring them more, short though it may be.
I quite agree. Fortunately, they have you to look after them.
Yes. Well.
Behind you! Just there!
More of them. Xenos! Here!
Oh boy.
You'll be all right. Hurry to the airship. Why have you come?
A heretofore unseen beast. 'Twas ripe for the slaying. Poor sport, alas. Unfit to temper my blade.
Oh, for the love of... You cannot still be on about a rematch.
That is, and has ever been, my sole concern. You, on the other hand, are fixated on a different quarry. Your passion pales before mine. Yet neither hate nor despair seems sufficient to recapture your misdirected bloodlust. So, I hone my blade, and I wait.
That's it. That's all you care about. Garlemald is in ruins. Our homeland, the nation you rule, is as good as gone. Along with so many of its people, not just soldiers like us, not only those who fought and killed for power and duty, innocent civilians. Murdered by their own flesh and blood. Lost and confused as they breathed their last. While we who survived with our lives and minds intact were left to freeze to death. The Eorzeans tell me all this was your doing! You slaughtered your countrymen! You did! For what?
For nothing, in the end. So much wasted effort.
You... You bastard!
For your own sake, Euless, you must control your anger. It will serve no one should it consume you and see you transformed.
Would you be happier had I a good reason?
What?
If my motives met with your approval, would you no longer resent the outcome? If so, then perhaps a beast's skin would suit you better. duty, honor, morality. All constructs of convenience when put to proof. Surely the war taught you how easily power becomes the tool of the self-righteous. How the people's justice was merely a means to their ends. Yet you would ask me why. Ask any creature of this star and those above for answers, and they will tell you what suits their fancy. And they would be right to do so. What meaning there is to be found in the petty vicissitudes of your existence must be gleaned by you, and you alone. Should you seek it in battle in the fruitless pursuit of my demise, then come. Assume your rightful place as a notch on my blade.
You are a blight on the Garlean race, and there would be no more satisfying way to expunge it than by beating you to death. But I will not be party to another tragedy. I refuse to lose anyone else because of you. So go. Go! And may we never suffer your madness again!
Xenos! Perhaps you found meaning in living this way. I cannot deny you found strength. Yet if you only pursue your hedonistic pleasures and pay no heed to the plight of others, then no one will give you the time of day. You will never get what you want. Not even the battle you pine for so dearly. You'll be alone for an eternity, and you'll deserve every agonizing second of it.
We're ready to depart. The refugee ships will be leaving shortly, but I've asked mine to remain for the time being. There's room enough for you to join me on it, if you wish. Do contain your surprise. I needn't agree with the Scion's methods or intentions to acknowledge that their deeds are deserving of gratitude.
We appreciate the offer. But might I ask why you are delaying your departure? I presume it is not solely for our benefit.
I must visit Garlemald ere we return to Sharlayan. Having caused such an uproar, 'tis only meet that I explain myself to the Ilzabard contingent.
Allow us to accompany you then. We should be glad to facilitate, given our familiarity with all concerned. If you would like to join as well, Eulus, we can speak of recent events on the way.
He'll be after your seat on the forum next.
storytelling in this game. It's awesome. To see Xeno standing there, so uncaring and unrepentant, gods, I don't know what came over me. I just blurted out the first thing that came to mind, but looking back on it, I stand by on those words. I would say I hope that they won't incite him to further villainy, but to be honest, I doubt he even remembers what I said. Anyway, enough of that. It's good to see you again. I'll take a swig of water here, my throat's a little dry. Okay, next quest. Outside help.
No major injuries then. Good. I briefed the recovered soldiers and sent them on their way as quickly as I could, but nevertheless feared they would not make it in time.
The additional support was invaluable. Your men saved more than a few lives. Though not all, I regret to say.
I take it that I'm addressing Lucia Junius. I'm the Forum's envoy, Forchano Leveilleur. And you are owed an explanation for these most dire developments.
Another trial wrought by the final days. I was beginning to suspect as much. You doubtless feel some consternation having been forced to abandon your original plan. But trust me when I say you were right to send the refugees elsewhere. Beasts have been sighted within the capital. Perhaps it was a stroke of grim fortune that the population was decimated beforehand, as they've yet to appear in any great number, but in time. In any case, Maxima leads the remainder of the contingent in an effort to cull the creatures and evacuate the populace as we speak. Once the airships have taken to the skies, I pray your men can be persuaded to join him.
You'll permit us to retain our weapons?
I wouldn't have sent you after the Scions were I expecting you to stab them in the back.
And I, for one, would not consider past transgressions more relevant than future contributions. Regardless of the circumstances that saw us at odds before, we need men of courage now, more than ever.
We swore to defend Garlemald, and so we shall.
It seems you have everything under control. You will excuse me then, for mine own duties await.
A moment, Master Forchano. You did desire to express your appreciation for services rendered, did you not?
I did. Though if you intend to again ask that Charlian alter its course, you will find my gratitude insufficient.
'Tis nothing so onerous. I wish to hear the details of this grand endeavor of yours.
Do you swear to listen and to learn, and not to embark upon some scheme to impede us?
I swear.
Any other I would doubt, but you I trust to keep your word. For not once have you broken it. Very well. I will request that the Forum make you privy to our plans. You may await our summons at the Baldessian Annex, assuming the decision is in your favor. Does that suffice?
It does. You have my thanks.
Excellent. You can regale us with tales of your most recent sojourn to the First while we wait. Did you hear something just now?
Where is this star's blasted pudding?
Dawn may banish even the darkest night, and to this bitter clime bring warmth and comfort. 'Tis heartening to see such an assembly upon my return. I thought often of you whilst I looked down upon our star's brilliance from the moon above.
Yes, but what are you doing here? And dressed like that? Aren't you cold?
Verily, I fear for my health should I proceed to expound upon our purpose ere I procure more suitable garments.
Then allow me to summarize. We're here because none of you lot are up there. Nor has anyone deigned to send word about any changes in the plans. It's rude, is what it is. At least that's what I thought at first, but then folks got to wondering if you weren't in a spot of bother, so we decided to take matters into our own hands. Come down here and help, if our help be needed. So she says, but it's also something of a convenient excuse to visit Etheris. Oriange made it sound absolutely marvelous. More so before the impending doom, but still. And it's not like there will ever be a better time. What with the aforementioned doom?
Marvellous, they say, yet not an ounce of pudding to be found. I must suffer Uriange's inferior works no more.
Hey! Maybe consider the plight of present company before you go blathering on about pudding and doom? Ahem. As I was saying, should you require any assistance with whatever, we are at your disposal. We were born from Heidelin's love for the lives of this star, so naturally we would much prefer to see them continue. Twiddling our thumbs up on the moon is hardly conducive to that, though, is it? Aye, not when you've all got such precious thoughts and feelings and hopes for the future deserving of more active preservation. Speaking to Oriange made us realize that while we've carried out our duties to the letter, we've failed to fulfill them in spirit. From there, it was just a hop, skip, and a jump towards resolving to do better. So please, show us how. Help us help you.
Forgive me, but are they...
Thy distant collaborators, indeed.
Hail, fellow, well met. You'd be a member of the Forum, would you? It's an honor and a pleasure to meet you at last. Livingway. Hydalen's right paw. That last bit is very important. As am I, if I may humbly say so myself.
I bid you welcome to our star, Livingway. On behalf of the Forum, I thank you for traveling such a distance to meet us. As you have surmised, preparations for the Exodus have not proceeded as smoothly as we had hoped. I should be happy to personally escort you to our headquarters in Charlian, where you may advise us as you deem fit.
'Twas with reluctance that I set aside the great work of readying the moon for habitation. Be assured that I did so only after the Loporrits made plain their earnest desire to come hither, and I myself felt a growing certainty that their contributions here would prove invaluable. 'Tis trite, perhaps, but I followed my heart.
Let's see. Good to haveth you back, or may thy disciples banish this darkest of nights. I like the first one. Good to haveth you back.
For a time, at least. Nevertheless, 'twas worth the journey to find present company well. Wilt thou attend us at the Forum and lend thine own wisdom?
If that's all quite settled, can we start moving before Urianger catches his death? Even I'm freezing out here.
Oh, I dare say you'll warm up quickly once you're aboard the airship. Sat shoulder to shoulder with our fur-covered friends.
I like the Loporrits. They're cute. Oh, we're back in Charlian already. Okay. I find it cute that Anna and Urianger are matching outfits. I dare say Master Fortuno was as nonplussed as we to learn the identity of Hydalen's lunar custodians. As he will soon discover, they have much and more to offer at the Forum. Might I suggest we return to the Annex forthwith? We may yet have time to discuss thy recent adventures ere we are summoned to the rostra. So let's make our way back to the Annex. Not that I'm complaining, Urianger, but I wasn't expecting you to see you quite so soon. Nor I thee. In extolling the virtues of Atheris, I did inadvertently awaken the Loporrits a desire to avert our beloved star's demise. Kral tells us you have obtained new knowledge that may aid us in our ongoing efforts. I have news to share regarding our study of the Ethereal Sea, but your findings are certain to be of greater interest, and so I'd rather hear them first. To what revelations did Hydalen's Elpis flower lead? then this dynamis is what drives the final days. If it and Akasha are one and the same, this all but proves Nidhana's theory, where an entity, through sheer force of emotion, to channel this vast, dormant reservoir into a raging river, its power might surpass even that of ether. But if our star is is so replete with ether, said entity would need to be outside its influence to effectively manipulate the dynamis of great expanse. Meteion, or rather, the sorrow and suffering of fallen civilizations that she has been hoarding for millennia. Until anguish and fear take two. Untold anguish and fear and hatred, drawn from every corner of the universe, all for a single purpose, the destruction of Aetheris. Then our foe is no longer some unknowable calamity. We have but one aim, to defeat Meteion. You make it sound so simple, but you're not wrong. Vanquish Meteion and we deliver the world from the final days. But to even attempt it, there are two conditions. First, we must determine her location. Before Meteion escaped, an enchantment was placed upon her by Vana, the woman who would become Hydaelyn. The implications of temporal magics are not entirely understood, and so we cannot assume that our Hydaelyn and the Vana you met in Elpis are one and the same. Nevertheless, due to her intrinsic qualities as an all-powerful being, I'd wager that Hydaelyn possesses the knowledge we seek. Whether she would share that knowledge with us, however, remains to be seen. After all, she intends for us to flee Aetheris, not to say. Do you suppose she has abandoned her pursuit of Meteion? No, but Meteion is still out there. Aye, though not for lack of trying on Hydaelyn's part. Surely that's why she used me as a conduit for her will, and provided clues such as the Elpis flower. I believe she has been waiting for mankind's answer to Hermes' question. So, what's the second condition? We must find a means to reach Meteion. Naturally, our chosen method will depend entirely upon wheresoever she has made her nest. Then communing with Hydaelyn must be necessity come first, or by necessity come first. Did you and Master Matoya have any luck with your investigation into the Ethereal Sea? Sadly not, though we enlisted the help of Arenvald and the other Echo Blast allies. We couldn't detect so much as a whisper from Hydaelyn, even from within the Anti-Tower. Master Matoya is of the opinion that in the years since abandoning it, the Forum has found some other method of receiving instructions from Hydaelyn. If so, it would most likely be some of the apparatus for observing the Ethereal Sea, built closer to home. Sorry to interrupt, we've just received word from the Forum. Your presence is required in the Rostra, where they intend to discuss the Great Exodus. Then Father was able to persuade them. They're finally taking us seriously. Let's hear what they have to say. The forum is in session, and as such, the roster is closed to visitors. A Scion of the Seventh Dawn. Very well. You may await in the corridor. Of course, entry will only be permitted on the conduction you leave your armaments at the door. Lest you forget, the sacred institution holds rational discourse in the highest. The implements of war are expressingly forbidden. So I guess we'll just wait for the cutscene to play.
There is a matter I wish to raise with you before we enter. We are here to listen and to learn. But if the Forum's plans are more or less what I expect, then I should like to make a proposal that will serve our ends. By your leave, of course.
I don't see why not. Your words and wits have gotten us this far.
Agreed. I will present our queries so that you may consider the most advantageous way to advance your proposal without distraction.
Thank you, everyone.
If I may have your attention, the ad hoc session will now commence. The purpose of today's assembly is to brief the Scions of the Seventh Dawn at their request on the Great Exodus. You may enter. On behalf of the Forum, I commend your heroic actions on the Magna Glacies. We shall not soon forget your service to us and the people of Radzat-Han. The Satrap, whom we have informed of the refugees' new arrangements, sings your praises as well. As an expression of our gratitude, we will endeavor to answer your questions as fully and openly as we are able.
Then let us begin. First, it is the Forum's objective to ferry the life and knowledge of this star to the moon. Am I correct?
You are. It is for this purpose that Sharlayan has labored these many long years. We have collected biological samples and scientific records from across the star. When the time comes, they will be moved from their places in Labyrinthos and Numenon and conveyed to safety.
Oi, Saki! Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well today. We're playing Final Fantasy XIV Online Endwalker. I saw that you were streaming earlier. How'd that go?
Once that critical task has been accomplished, we will begin transporting the Sharlayan citizenry, which has been categorized into groups. The earliest arrivals are to ensure hospitable environs for those who come after. Following our people, we will send those of other nations in turn, beginning with our allies. Radzat-Han was foremost among these, but since the final days have already come to Thavnair, we saw fit to include the refugees with earlier groupings.
A loaded question. Did something happen during stream, or? Oh, I see. They asked you to give an emotional speech after hitting 50 followers and then asked you to sing. But yeah, congrats on 50 followers. You totally deserved it.
An ambitious plan. You have accounted for the safety of all nations and tribes, then?
As many as we can.
And how, pray tell, do you decide who to leave behind?
To journey beyond the sky is an unprecedented and immeasurably difficult endeavor. Introducing sources of inevitable conflict would condemn all to certain death.
Questions as to the validity of that approach aside, are your plans proceeding apace? We're under the impression that your primary means of celestial transportation is incomplete.
If only in that it does not meet our optimal parameters, that is correct. This arc, as some have taken to calling it, is fully operational and could be launched even today.
You know, Saki, the same thing happened to me when I hit 50 followers. Twitch was like, are you sure you didn't hit it yet? Even though it says, like, you hit 50, Twitch will be like, you didn't hit 50, like, in the statistics. So it's really weird. But yeah, I remember hitting 50 and then Twitch being like, no, you didn't. So it's a thing, I guess.
However, the final days have progressed more quickly than we anticipated. At present, the ship is incapable of attaining speeds sufficient to meet our evacuation targets. Should we put the vessel into service, as it is now, we will be unable to travel to the moon and back quickly enough to complete the necessary number of trips. Precious lives and knowledge will be lost.
Seven hells. Is there anything to be done?
The ether burner, the primary means of propulsion once the craft is in the space between stars, is undergoing testing to determine whether it can be made more efficient. Though cargo is being loaded for the initial phase of the Exodus, we are prepared to continue our experimentation up to the day before launch, should it prove necessary.
What if the Scions were to solve your problem? We shall help devise a means to improve the ether burner's efficiency, on two conditions. If we succeed, you must allow us to meet with Hydaelyn.
"'Twas simple enough to deduce. You have a Concord, and so you would never have abandoned the anti-tower had you no other means of communication. One far more convenient, I suspect.
The second condition, also to be met upon our success, is that we be permitted to propose another use for your Ark.
We would be at liberty to refuse this proposal.
Of course. If we cannot prove its merit to the 99 here, who are we to stake on it the lives of all peoples of this star?
Delightful as always, Master Alfino. Oh, we couldn't have asked for a finer plan. Allow us to solve this complex engineering problem of which we were entirely unaware until moments ago. What could possibly go wrong? The satire writes itself. Yet, what field has has not benefited from a change in perspective. When we are at wit's end, what we need is not the same dry theories recited ad nauseam, but fresh inspiration. I, for one, have faith in my erstwhile students to provide it, and I find their terms to be perfectly acceptable.
Order! Order! We have no time to waste on debate. I call a vote. All in favor of agreeing to the Scion's terms? "71 in favor, 28 against. The ayes have it. Fortuneau, as the architect of this project, you are the best candidate to show them its current state. And bear in mind that regardless of your personal misgivings, this is the will of the Forum.
Very well.
Call this session to a close. Return to your tasks with urgency. The final days wait for none.
Sorry about not letting the rest of you in on my plan. I was, admittedly, thinking on my feet for the most part. But since we require both a means of communing with Heidelin and reaching Meteon, in the spur of the moment, I saw involving ourselves with the completion of the arc as a way to work towards both objectives simultaneously. However, we must first keep our end of the bargain by solving the problem of the ether burner. I like to think it is not a challenge beyond our combined expertise, or at least the expertise of our extended circle of associates. It might behoove us to learn how an ether burner actually works before we attempt to improve it, though. Next quest, going underground. As instructed, I shall take you to see the ether burner. Meet me outside the Archon. I trust you can make it on your... take two. I trust you can make it on your own way there. You can make your own way there. Reading! I can't do it, guys. So the Ark is being built in Labyrinthos. Hardly surprising. Where else could they conceal such a massive undertaking? I'm always stumbling on my words. On camera, off camera, on and off stream. It's just... This is why I'm not bilingual. Our destination lies in the lower levels. The Forum, in its wisdom, has granted your access to the Archon's lift. Step inside and have Ophiline take you to the medial circuit. I can understand like Japanese to an extent. Like I can read Hira's and Kana's just fine. It's just kanjis throw me into a loop and then I don't know what's going on. If Japanese was just Hira's and Kana's, like I'd have no issue. I have sent your associates ahead to Logisticon Alpha. on the other side of the Merrill ergonomics. Actually, there's something I have been meaning to... No, never mind. It can wait. Let's attend to the matter at hand. So we need to make our way down there, okay. Oh, there's an ether right there we have yet to attune to. I would fly, but I can't yet. I'm just focusing on clearing the story for now, and then we'll go find the ether currents later. We are to wait here while our father arranges for us to use the next lift. Here being Logisticon Alpha, where the atmospheric conditions of the Labyrinthos are regulated. Water is drawn from underground and dispersed as vapor, stimulating the formation of artificial clouds and rain. By manipulating the temperature and air circulation, they're able to create the ideal environment for the growth and preservation of the biological samples kept here. Hold on, how do you know so much about it? Why, Father brought me here as a child. What? And left me behind? Actually, you're the one who left me behind. You went off somewhere with Grandfather. The night before, I had been asking Father how clouds are made, so he decided to show me. It was fascinating. I peppered him with questions the entire time. 'Tis all too easy to take for granted that many interweaving aspects of the natural world, to grow inured to its wonders. To have gained an understanding of the complex mechanisms employed by the Loporits in creating a similar environment, I have come to view such process in a new light. The subterranean guardians of Labyrinthos, the lunar prison forged to contain the ancient Zodiarch, the habitations built for all mankind neath the moon's surface, each unique yet undeniably similar. 'Tis no mere coincidence. Ever since Hydaelyn unfolded to us the grim fate that awaits the Theris, every essential resource we could spare has been delivered into Labyrinthos in preparation for the great exodus, but that is not all. It is also a testing ground for the technologies that will allow us to settle on distant stars. Though the Loporits have endeavored to make the moon inhabitable, that is not our final destination. Mankind must learn to propagate life where there is none, to thrive where all is barren. Alas, time is not on our side. I have arranged for you all to enter the central circuit. It is there that most of our preparations for the great exodus are carried out, the construction of the Ark among them. Though our plans have been made public, access remains highly restricted. You, however, will not be subject to said restrictions, and will have free reign to come and go as you please, such as the will of the Forum, after all. We will prove ourselves worthy of their trust, your trust. Then let us proceed. By decree of the Forum, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn are permitted to enter the Central Circuit. The Ether Burner is being constructed not far from here, overseeing the work of Kakal Dankal, after whom the forge is named. Once the necessary introductions have been made, I shall leave you with him to discuss the particulars. This way. Oh yeah. Here. I have a little fox baby. I believe we can give them pets. Let's see. I think they have a unique animation when they are being pet. Yeah, they curl up. And then we can also feed them too. Oh, well, not in that animation. Hold on, let's try that again. There. Yeah, on my main character, I have the seal following me around, but on my alt character, Enna, I usually have the fox kit following me. He's so cute. Where do we go now, though? Let's see. Right? I love the seal. I don't have it on this character, sadly, but when I do stream next and with my main character, you'll definitely see the seal again. Right now, I'm just trying to focus on getting my alt character through a story. And then probably get a couple more classes to 90 as well with Enna, because with Basil, my main character, I already have a bunch of classes on him to 90 already. Which I've been doing off stream. We finally made it, and there's this Cockle Doncall guy.
I could swap them out. No, been there, done that. Damn near lost my eyebrows.
Think, Coco, think! We'd be well on our way to paradise. Visionaries patting themselves on the backs for their grand accomplishments if you'd only think!
Yes, that does sound rather lovely.
Yeah! I mean, Master Force, you know, what a pleasant surprise. We're not blasting off already, are we?
The schedule remains unchanged, for better or worse. Which is why the Forum has elected to accept assistance in resolving the Ether Burner conundrum.
Not seen you lot down here before.
There are Archons among their number, but engineering is not their expertise. Nevertheless, the Forum concedes the slim possibility that they may have insights to offer. If not, you are at liberty to return them to the surface.
Carly!
As you see fit.
Welcome to the stream. Hope you're feeling well today. I'm playing more Final Fantasy XIV Online.
I assure you that won't be necessary. Now, about your troubles with the Ether Burner.
Aye, I'll walk you through it. Suppose I could do with a change of pace. As the name ought to tell you, the Ether Burner burns ether, ambient or otherwise, and transforms it into motive force.
Think of it like a giant bomb that never stops exploding. Even out in that black void where the ether's right sparse, it's strong enough to move our arc. And it probably won't kill you like an actual bomb. But it ain't perfect. According to my calculations, to travel to the moon and back fast enough for the forum's liking, the conversion rate needs to be 6% more efficient. A measly 6%, you say? But if I could have squeezed even another 0.6 out of it, don't you think I'd have built it that way in the first place?
Hast thou consulted with the Loperites?
Yes, they too are conducting their own research, for lack of a ready answer. The moon's propulsion systems are considerable, naturally, yet they are commensurately massive.
Oh no, Alphinaud is still the same actor since Heavensward.
It is no easy feat to convert their technology into an efficient means of propulsion for a teeny tiny toy boat, as they say, and as I most certainly do not.
Yes, exactly! Damn it all, I asked for refined adamantite and they send me uppity rabbits with inscrutable, ancient, incompatible technology! You're trying to drive me mad!
Do you speak of Allegan refined adamantite, perchance?
You know of it?
Only in the most general terms, I'm afraid. 'Twas an alloy of Allegan make, but the secrets of its production were closely guarded. As I recall, the record stated it was vital to Dalamud's construction and launch.
Aye, that's the stuff. No material more conductive far as I know. Slotting some ends like blowing up a dam and watching the river of ether come rushing through. Ain't a living soul that knows how to make it though. We were fortunate enough to salvage some for the ether burner, just a wee bit, mind, from a chunk of Dalamud that came hurtling into the northern empty during the calamity. With more, well, that extra 6% efficiency would be child's play. It's a crying shame that we've no other sources.
Surely the many shards of Dalamud scattered throughout Eorzea would suffice. Why not get the refined adamantite from them?
Oh, we tried, believe you me. But only a few specialised pieces would have had any in them to begin with. Drive calls from Ragnarok-class internment hulks. Those are the prize bits we really need. According to the Gleaners, getting to them means delving deep into the shards. And the defences are still very operational and very eager to blow them up. It's rough going in there, even for the cream. Not sure they'd make it out alive.
Weren't we near that part of the Ragnarok when we went to destroy Bahamut?
Let's see, what should we say? You want me to go and fetch the what's-its? The White Raven's ghost haunts me. This sounds like a job for someone else. You want me to go and fetch the what's-its?
That may be for the best, though you doubtless find the task too dull for your liking.
There are multiple internment hulks in Eorzea alone, so handling this ourselves may not be the most efficient option. Rather, if we could salvage adamantite from the shards simultaneously... Thancred, is the link shell we established before you went to Garlemald still active?
Of course. The floor is yours.
What's all this?
Gathering firewood, so to speak. We alone can accomplish little, but joined by others, we may yet build a bonfire to carry us heavensward. This is Alphinaud. The Scions have need of you.
Understood. I will contact the Lord Commander and dispatch our finest at once.
My sisters are somewhat preoccupied with the final days, so I will lead the 12-foot expedition myself.
Are you aware of any other sources of refined adamantite?
Logically, such an invaluable alloy would have been utilized solely where absolutely necessary, in components intended to conduct or collect surpassing amounts of ether. Any extant instrumentation or devices would have likely found their way into the hands of etherologists or enthusiasts.
Magical artifacts of Allagan design? The Eastern Alliance will send word to one and all. Are there other ways we may offer aid? No shards of the Lesser Moon scar our soil, but our stake in this cause is no less for it.
Is there anything in Othard that might be of use to you?
What did you say? Oh, you got friends in far places, lad. Anyway, if you're offering, I wouldn't say no to one of those Far Eastern sacred relics. Some of them can hold enough ether to summon a whole damn primal. Combine a source like that with the ether burner, and 3, 2, 1, kaboom!
I gather you heard his explosive enthusiasm. Might you secure us a suitable relic?
It shall be done. I know little of machines, but I promise we will do our utmost to gather the materials you need to finish your starship. I am glad for the work, in truth. Better to busy oneself than wait and fret over disasters foretold.
Then why are we all still standing about yapping? This plunder for the taking. And I'm a born plunderer. I'll be an old Charlian before you know it. Start mixing the grog.
I'm certain that can be arranged. Thank you all, and do be careful.
Just like that.
Aye, just like that. Our refined adamantite is on its way. Now let us consider our next steps, shall we? There's yet much to be done.
Oh, Carly, thank you for lurking. Appreciate it. You want me to go fetch the whatsits in this economy? It's times like these we're reminded of how famous or infamous Alphinaud has become. Who'd have thought he could achieve so much with a single link pearl conversation? As we're expecting rather a lot of visitors in the near future, I'd best return to the surface and inform the revenant parties. Relevant, she's. Talking's hard. I also have a contact of my own that might be worthy of a try. Oh, and who might that be? That's for me to know and you to find out. And on that note, I leave matters here in your capable hands. Best of luck. Meanwhile, in Ul'dah,
our course of action is clear. We must harvest refined adamantite from the shards of Dalamud and procure arcane relics of Allagan make. Summon the best and brightest of our immortal flames and form an expeditionary party at once. Call upon the Sultan Sworn and Brass Blades for support as you must. Papashan, send word to the guilds. We will require the expertise of master artisans if we are to have any hope of identifying and recovering these elusive materials. Viergeist, we have need of your stone torches. They are to assist the immortal flames in scouring the ruins and to help secure the surrounding areas. I trust I can count on your support.
As commander of the Stone Torches, my son Zimberg will personally see it done.
Pippin, I would have you lead the raiding party. Assemble your finest, and with Tizona's blade clear the way. Lord Lolorito, I pray you take charge of the search for Allagan relics. Surely you know of some being traded on open or clandestine markets, or sleeping in collectors' vaults. Of course, I ask not that you do this out of the kindness of your heart. By all means, profit on the transactions. I wish you the joy of it. The final days descend upon our world. If circumstances are truly as dire as they say, Uldar's best efforts may be for naught. And yet, when we Eorzeans rose from the ashes to rebuild our broken realm, did we not learn one simple truth? That which seems all but impossible to overcome alone may yet be possible if we stand together. It was the Scions who united us then, and it is the Scions who call upon us now. Uldar will answer that call. We will summon our courage and join the fight for our world's future. You know your duties. I, Nanamo Ulnamo, 17th in the line of Ul, bid you good luck and Godspeed.
Meanwhile, in the Black Shroud,
We fielded a goodly number, but our ranks are heavy with healers, and an abundance of restorative magics will be of little help in destroying Dalamud's defenses. Still, it has ever been thus with Gridania. We must steel ourselves for a protracted engagement.
In that case, might I suggest taking us along?
enter yet another best girl.
Commander Hext, what are you doing here?
None of the shards in Girabania are big enough to hold an internment hulk. So we said to ourselves, why not lend our neighbors a hand? We thought you might be short on people with a talent for breaking things.
While it pains me to admit it, you are right. Our deficiency so plain to see.
It might have been a lifetime ago, but I was once one of the Scions assigned to the Shroud. I know this forest well. I know your people. And I know we will be stronger if we fight this fight together.
Then I will impose upon you with a clear conscience. Come, let us speak of how to integrate our forces.
I won't let it all be for nothing. I promise you, Papalimo.
Meanwhile, in Korthus,
There you are! We've no time to waste, brother. Everyone has already... Ah. That was a roar! A dragon's roar!
meanwhile in the Ruby Sea,
And so, in summation, the Eastern Alliance, as well as the Honourable Lord Lolorito himself, reached out to me for assistance in procuring these treasures of the divine, and I, in turn, do beseech the Confederacy for aid. Is that...
Hancock? What a surprise this is. And a fortuitous one at that. I have a favor to ask, you see.
next quest. No job too small. Though our friends are searching for refined adamantite and sacred relics, we only know if they meet your requirements once they are arrived. In the meantime, is there aught else we might do to be of service? Ha! You've already done more than enough. If I had to say, though, I could use someone who knows a thing or two about elegant technology. You there, the lad with the red ears and matching hair. You seem to know more than the average scholar. Ha! If only Master Cockle, rather, knew how right he was. While he and Graha established a rapport, why don't we help with the preparations for the Great Exodus? Indeed, this would mean going above and beyond the terms of our arrangement. But I propose that, but I propose this not to curry favor. Curry. As confident as I am that we will succeed, we must be ready for every eventuality. This would also be an opportunity to familiarize ourselves with the logistics of traversing the Great Expanse. And if nothing else, it beats twiddling our thumbs while we wait for the adamantite. Well, ain't you a bunch of helpful buggers? If you a mind to lend a hand, I know where you ought to go. Charlie Hamlet is lousy with researchers and scholarly types, busying themselves preparing for the Exodus. Pah! That lot need all the help they can get. Well then, off we go. Oh, it's midnight where you are, and why we must talk about curry? Because it's delicious. Though I prefer green curry. Thai specific. Like Thai green curry is my favorite. Not with that attitude, Saki. There's always time for curry. I'm just kidding. Like, you're probably already settled in and probably gonna go to sleep soon since it is very late where you are. From what I can tell, a lot of people actually live down here. I don't know how much help we can offer, but I dare say they'll benefit from somewhat that fresh inspiration scholar Montaigne mentioned. Let's start by asking around, ideally without getting anyone's way. Getting in anyone's way. Grammar makes all the difference. Let's meet by the Aetheryte once our work is done. Gather information in Charlian Hamlet. Helping with the Ark, even with all the power Master Kokals managed to squeeze out of the ether burner, it's still not enough apparently. And now I hear the final days have arrived. Horrible creatures running rampant all over. If only we'd begun the exodus sooner. People are dying, and there'll be no end to it if we don't fulfill our duties. But we will. We've spent years preparing for this moment. Believe in the plan, and all will be well. Oh, you have work tomorrow. Shoot. Yeah, I know that feel. Wanting to stay up late, but then you have work in the morning, but you're like, but I like having fun. But then again, I don't want to wake up a zombie. It is totally valid. Oh, hello. Are you one of the new helpers? Working on the ether burner. Oh dear. I hear things have come to a standstill on that front. Even so, I choose that over my current duties. Checking and unloading samples day in, day out. It's tiring, thankless work. Still, no one will be cross if I misplace a few, legumes or what have you. The forums got enough on their plate as it is, with what deciding who gets to board the Ark and when. A lot of powerful people have opinions about that. My heart goes out to Master Fortuno and the others. Hardly get a moment's rest, I expect. Do they even have time to sleep? Oh right, that's something about the dancing game or something that you were mentioning before? Or was that something else? Okay, was that? I forget, was it like a championship or a tournament or something, or was it just a regular stream or something? Because unfortunately, I had to go to work and I caught the tail end of that conversation. Oh, Step Mania, that's the game. I couldn't think of it. Okay, Step Mania. A showcase and among other crazy things. Offering to help? That's very kind, but I should be able to organize the rest of the documents by myself. It's mostly lists of the things we'll need once we arrive on the moon, and when whichever star we choose as our new home. My duties largely concern the maintenance of living conditions, so I'll be a lot busier after we depart. I hear that our lunar collaborators have come down to assist in our efforts. I'm looking forward to finally meeting them in person after having communicated with them in such a limited capacity thus far. To be perfectly honest, I've not even the slightest idea what they look like. I do hope they're not enormous, looming giants. Why, I would much prefer something small and fluffy, like the behated rabbit that ran by. you know, about that. And search for the beheaded rabbit. Oh, okay, so a charity stream then? Fancy meeting you here, Anna. Our friends in the forum brought us to see their teeny tiny toy boat, which was quite impressive considering that they don't use any creation magics. What we're really interested in is the Theris itself, though we now find ourselves in a sort of funny underground miniaturized version of it. Oh, it happens every 6 months. Okay. That's neat. We were hoping in the forum would give us a guided tour, but it appears they are rather preoccupied. Honestly, all that time to prepare and they're still not ready. I suppose we'll just have to show ourselves around, or at least that's what we were planning to do until we chanced upon Urianger and your good self. Since you're both dawdling about, engaging in idle chit-chat, perhaps you could show us a few points of interest. Won't that be fun? I'm actually going to BRB for a bit. I am going to make some lunch for myself because, well, it's actually 3:05 where I am in the afternoon. And I guess you can say late lunch at this point. But I'm going to put up my BRB screen and make myself some food because I'm starved. But Saki, if I don't see you when I get back, then I hope you have a good night and hope you're not a zombie tomorrow. And I hope your shift goes well as well. So I'm going to put up my... I really don't have a BRB card yet. I am working on that, though. But yes, my friends, I will... I'm going to be making lunch, and I'll be back shortly. See you guys soon. Okay, I'm just back for a quick second. Oh, my game cut out. That's concerning. Wonder why it did that. Give me a second, guys. That's a very unpleasant sound coming from my capture device. Let's see if I can figure that out. Hold on. Not sure what happened there. Give me a second, guys. Okay, I'm gonna give my PlayStation a restart. Hopefully I can queue back in. So it'll just be a little longer, guys. I'm sorry. Hey Los, welcome back. I'm experiencing a couple of streaming difficulties at the moment. I'm trying to figure them out right now. And plus I'm making lunch as well, so this is a break time, I guess. I'm sorry, friends. Just bear with me while I try to situate myself. Yeah, my TV was giving, or actually the stream rather, and my TV both are giving off this weird hissing static sound. But I seem to have fixed it. I just need to, I think we're, oh, that is not the right screen. Let's see if we can pull up the right screen. That screen is frozen. Hi Lapis, welcome to the stream. Unfortunate timing because I have no idea. Like I went to go BRB to make food, and then I heard this weird hissing sound coming from my TV. So I went to go look, and something happened with the audio. So I'm just trying to figure out what happened. I am just as confused as any of you guys. No, that was a different issue entirely. So I'm going to try to figure my life out. Video, please come back. I figured out the issue on my side. I just have to figure it out on Streamlabs' side. Please, I don't want to restart stream. I wonder if I switch to something else temporarily. Hold on. Still stuck on that screen. Okay, never mind. So much for that fix. I thought I was past these issues, but I guess not. I guess I'll count my losses and restart my computer. So, yeah, there's no coming back, I guess. My computer's refusing to cooperate. Alright, so sorry guys, I will be right back. I'll have to end stream here, but I promise to be back soon. I hate technology so much.